Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting parts of Verse Peace, the abilities. If you've played the game, you know just how crucial abilities can be, whether you're going up against enemies in PvE or duking it out in PvP. Some of these abilities pack a serious punch, while others, well, not so much. That's why it's super important to choose wisely when you're picking your abilities. After all, the right ability could be the game changer you need to come out on top. But here's the catch. Not all abilities are created equal. Some can destroy your enemies in seconds, while others might leave you wishing you picked something else. So, to help you out, we've put together a detailed guide and tier list on Verse Peace's abilities, making it easier for you to figure out which ones are the real heavy hitters. Stick around, and we'll walk you through which abilities will give you that edge, and which ones you might want to avoid. Ready? Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking abilities in Verse Peace. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Wizard Mask, Conqueror Hockey, Void Step, and Reverse Curse Technique. Alright, let's dive into the C tier abilities in Verse Peace, where things are a little less flashy, but still definitely worth checking out. First up, we have Wizard Mask, which gives you a 1.5x damage multiplier for a short time. Sounds pretty nice, right? But there's a catch. Once the effect ends, you'll lose 15% of your max HP. So while you're hitting harder, you're also risking your health. Use it wisely and don't get too carried away with all that extra power. Definitely a high-risk, high-reward situation, but if you're a gambler, this one could be for you. Next, there's Conqueror Hockey, an AoE attack that deals a solid 8,003 damage and stuns anyone nearby. It's pretty satisfying to see all your enemies frozen in place, but the damage isn't exactly game-breaking compared to some of the other abilities. It's still a good tool to control the battlefield and make your enemies think twice before charging at you, but it's not going to carry you through tougher fights on its own. Then we have Void Step, a rare ability that grants you 5 seconds of invulnerability. This is a nice little breather if you're in the middle of a chaotic fight and need a second to regroup. The catch? It's only 5 seconds, so timing is key. If you use it at the wrong moment, it might not help as much as you'd hoped. Still, for those who love playing strategically and avoiding damage, Void Step gives you a quick escape when you need it most. Last but not least, Reverse Curse Technique offers a nice little healing boost, restoring 30% of your max HP. It's a decent heal, but nothing that'll make you invincible in battle. It's a good pick if you find yourself in need of some quick recovery, but it doesn't scale as well in the later stages of the game when you're facing tougher enemies. Still, for staying alive in a pinch, it gets the job done. So, while these abilities may not be top tier, they still have their uses. Each one has a little something different to offer. Whether you're looking to deal some extra damage, control the battlefield, dodge attacks, or heal up in a tough fight, just be sure to play around with them and see how they fit into your playstyle. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Gatekeeper, Black Flash, Malevolent Shrine, Korohitsugi, and Raikoho. Alright, let's dive into some of the coolest abilities in Verse Peace that land in the B tier. You might not find these as insane as the S tier abilities, but trust me, they still pack a punch and can totally shake things up in the heat of battle. First up, we've got Gatekeeper. This one's a real game changer if you're all about mobility. Gatekeeper lets you open a portal to any island in the verse, except for the strongest arena. That means you can instantly get away or get to a key location in the blink of an eye. Sure, it's not the most aggressive ability, but it's perfect for strategy and getting the drop on your enemies. Next, we've got Black Flash. Now, if you like to hit multiple enemies at once, you'll be all about this one. This ability unleashes a medium-sized AoE attack right in front of you, dealing a solid 8,003 damage. It's pretty satisfying to see the damage numbers fly when you land a hit, and its medium AoE radius makes it great for clearing out groups of foes who think they're safe. It's not over the top, but it's definitely reliable when you need it. Malevolent Shrine is another fun ability to use, especially when you're feeling extra evil. You channel this expanding domain, which creates a bit of tension as it gets bigger and bigger. Then boom! You release it and hit everyone in the area with a whopping 15,434 damage. It's a large-scale ability that's got a bit of suspense behind it, making it super satisfying when it lands. Plus, the visual effects are pretty dope. Finally, we've got Korohitsugi, which places a huge black box around you and deals 10,290 damage in the area. There's something about the dramatic flair of summoning this giant box that makes this ability feel extra powerful. It's like a big no entry sign for anyone who dares get too close. And let's not forget Raikoho, which delivers a huge AoE light attack that deals 7,471 damage. Light-based abilities always have a bit of elegance to them, and Raikoho definitely doesn't disappoint in terms of both visual appeal and damage. So, while these abilities are all from the B tier, they each have their own strengths that can turn the tide of battle. They might not be the flashiest, but in the right hands, they can definitely get the job done. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, CID's Atomic, Infinite Void, and Future Sense. Alright, let's talk about some seriously cool abilities in Verse Peace that are absolutely worth considering if you're looking to pack a punch or make a big impact in battle. First up, we've got Sid's Atomic. This ability deals a massive 13,720 damage in a huge area around you. Talk about a game changer. If you're trying to clear out enemies in one go, this is your move. Just picture it. You hit that ability, and the battlefield becomes a war zone, with everyone around you feeling the blast. Plus, it's an exotic rarity, which makes it extra special to use. It's a rare gem with a drop rate of just 0.025%, but it's totally worth it for the chaos it creates. Next, let's talk about Infinite Void. This one stuns nearby enemies for a solid 10 seconds, so you've got time to catch your breath or set up your next move. Imagine being surrounded by enemies and hitting them with this ability. For 10 whole seconds, they can't do a thing. It's perfect for buying yourself some space or setting up a devastating follow-up. This mythic ability has a 0.25% drop rate, so it's a little tougher to get, but when you do, you're going to feel like a master tactician. Then there's Future Sense. I mean, who wouldn't want to be invulnerable for 20 seconds? That's basically like having a cheat code for survival. You can wade through enemy attacks, get in those last hits, and escape tricky situations with ease. What's even cooler is that there's no visual effect, so you'll be in full stealth mode while you're untouchable. Talk about making the most of your time on the battlefield. It's another mythic ability with a 0.25% drop rate, but once you snag it, you'll never want to go back to normal gameplay. All in all, these abilities add so much flavor to the game and really shake up how you approach each fight. Whether you're looking for massive damage, crowd control, or invulnerability, these abilities bring something unique to the table. So, if you get your hands on any of these, be sure to use them wisely. These are the kinds of abilities that can change the course of a battle. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, CID's Atomic All Range, Korohitsugi Maximum Output, Snow, and TNT. Alright, let's dive into some of the absolute powerhouses in Verse Peace. These abilities aren't just strong, they're game changers, and they come with a bit of that rare exotic flair. You know, the kind of abilities that make you feel like you've unlocked a cheat code in a game. So let's talk about them and why they totally deserve their S tier ranking. First up, we've got Sid's Atomic All Range. This one is a blast in the truest sense. When you use it, you're hitting a massive circle of enemies around you, dealing a solid 13,720 damage. It's the perfect way to clear a crowd, and the range is just chef's kiss. Imagine the chaos you can create when you're surrounded, and suddenly, boom, everything gets hit at once. It's like a nuke, but with a bit more finesse. Then there's Korohitsugi Maximum Output. This ability is pure destruction. You summon a giant black box that deals some of the highest damage you'll ever see. It's a vertical box that traps everything in its path and delivers a crushing blow. The power behind this one is so intense, it makes you feel like you're channeling the universe's wrath itself. It's the kind of move that'll make your enemies second-guess their life choices. Lastly, we've got two explosive abilities that are just ridiculous. Snow is a full AoE blast that doesn't just deal damage, 11,100 to be exact, but also freezes all enemies in the area. So, not only are you hitting them hard, but you're also making them completely helpless while you keep up the attack. And then there's TNT. Just thinking about it makes me excited. This massive explosion dishes out a jaw-dropping 54,100 AoE damage. It's the kind of ability you use when you want to leave your enemies in complete chaos, wondering what just happened. Each of these abilities is insane in its own right, but together, They're absolute monsters on the battlefield. If you can unlock these exotics, you'll be the one everyone's running from. Trust me, these abilities are a must-have for anyone aiming to dominate Verse Peace. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.